Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to share a project with you. We're using some new items from Pretty Pink Posh. This is their latest release. This is the entire release. Now I don't know if you guys know this, but Pretty Pink Posh sells the entire release. They sell it at a discounted price, and I'll leave that link down below. But I thought I'd go over everything in the release and then create a project. My project today is for an Instagram hop. We are celebrating day 2 of the winter release from Pretty Pink Posh, and there's lots of inspiration and a giveaway if you want to head on over to Instagram. I'll leave the information for that over on my blog, but if you missed day 1 too, you can head on over to Pretty Pink Posh's Instagram and check out lots of inspiration with all this happiness right here. Okay, and then check out tomorrow's too, because tomorrow's is going to be pretty fabulous. I'm going to go over the entire release just real quickly because there's a lot of super fun items in here, and then I'm going to jump in and create a card. Okay, first we're going to go over the smaller stamp sets. There's a couple 3x4 stamp sets. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. And then this one here is called Happy Santa. If you like scene building, this is a great stamp set, and it does have a coordinating die set if you like that option. But super cute Santa. He's just the right size for tags too. I think that's really neat. Another 3x4 stamp set is winter drinks, and there are a whole latte winter drinks in here. And I guess there was a pun in there. I know I'm not very good at it. But this is great for coffee drinkers, but it's also fabulous for tea drinkers. There's 2 little tea bags that you can attach to your coffee cups and your coffee mugs. There is a sentiment that says, "You warm my heart." And then there's also one that says, "Thanks, A." And you have the big latte that you can stamp and die cut out. You can actually die cut out those little tea bags too. How cute are those? So it does have a coordinating die set here. The nice thing about the 3x4 stamp sets are the price point. There's a lot packed in those little sets, and they sure have a great price point. Now we're going to move along to our 4x6 stamp sets. There is a brand new envelope stamp set back that's great for December card making and for January card making, because you have the poinsettia flowers, and you also have some beautiful snowflakes that are great. And the banners back that will cut out your sentiments, and you get 3 of them. And I just love the envelopes. These would make really cute tags too. This one is called Holiday Envelopes. Another 4x6 stamp set I think you're going to love. This one would be great for mass producing, only because you see the pine needles back here. There's no coloring involved for your beautiful wreath, and it's a larger wreath that will fit an A2 card. But there's no coloring. You would use your inks for that, which is really nice. You will have some accent pieces. You have ornaments and a pine cone. You have holly with berries. You even have a little Christmas light, and you have a real pretty star, along with the sentiment says joy, and then there's a bow that you can adorn your wreath with. This one's called the Pine Wreath stamp set. Sometimes I just love stamp sets that you can just stamp with your inks. Sometimes I have a lot of inks, and I don't use them as much as I would like to. So this is a great stamp set for that. There is one more 4x6 stamp set, and this is perfect for your larger sentiment dies. This one is called this Holiday Sentiments, and there's a lot of strips in here, and then there's some doubled up sentiments that are really nice. So you can customize your cards, which is perfect. And then speaking of your script sentiments, there are 3 new ones in this month's release. You have Christmas Greetings, you have Merry and Bright, and you have Winter Wishes. Super fun. There are some standalone dies, which you're just gonna love. I'm gonna start with the mitten shaker. Love this. This snowflakes comes out so you can embellish your mitten with your snowflake, which is really nice. quick and easy shaker cards are made with this, and there's stitch detail on here. There's the mitten shaker. Another standalone die are some wonderful Christmas pines. This is called pine trees, and you get 3 of them. And you get the trunks that are customizable, so you can make them as tall or as short as you want in 3 different sizes. And the nice thing is you can layer all 3 together to create a 3D Christmas tree. How neat is that? There is another fabulous standalone die, and this is called the winter mug. And this is, you know what the nice thing about this is? It is great for a lot of occasions. Winter, you can create a friendship card, a hot cocoa mug with a snowflake. You can create a fall pumpkin latte because you have a fall leaf in here. There's holly leaf, and there's some circle for berries. You get a little ghost for October, and of course you get the fun candy cane. I love that. This little oval piece, it fits right inside your coffee cup. That way you can cut this out with a colored cardstock, add your darker cardstock for tea or coffee. How cute is that? This is called the winter mug, and I think it's all occasion. Next and lastly, for the standalone dies, I love Pretty Bean Posh's florals. I love any florals, and these are wonderful. This is called the winter foliage, and you get pine needles, pine cones, you get a poinsettia in 2 different sizes that you can layer together, or you can dike it out too and layer separately. There's some holly berries. You get holly leaves. This kind of looks like eucalyptus almost. You get that. And the pine cone's layerable, which makes it really nice. So you'd cut both of these out and layer them on top of each other. Makes it really easy. 2 sizes of holly leaves and 2 different shapes of pine needles. Now, this one is really nice because it's unique. I don't have one of those, which makes it really nice. Then you also get some regular green foliage too. You're gonna love this. Okay, lastly, we have a few stencils. And these are all layering stencils. And this is like, I love stencils like this because you can create your own pattern paper. I've said that before. But this one here is the holiday foliage. I have to remember, holiday foliage. And this is a layering stencil. I'm not going to open them, but you would layer it together. And there is pine needles and holly berries. And there is also, I believe, pine cones in here, which makes it really nice. And this is a layering stencil set. Another layering stencil set is the layering Christmas lights. So it's hard to tell behind here, but you have the Christmas lights that kind of go in waves, and then behind it you have some pine needles. So that is neat. Great. The lights would be great on their own, and then the pine needles would be great on their own too. But put them together and you have a fun Christmas background. You have the layering coffee cups. Love these. There's even little stars and hearts. And then there's some steam swirls. There's to-go coffee cups. There are coffee mugs in here. And then, of course, you get to decorate them any color you want. How cute is that? Another layering stencil is the layering mittens. Love the polka dots and stripes. And there's snowflakes on here. How cute are those? And then lastly, you have layered snowflakes. And there's a whole bunch of shapes and sizes in here that you can layer together to create a beautiful snowflake background. So that is, for the most part, the release, but there are a few embellishments that are brand new that I think you're going to like. There's 2 sets of pearls. You get a red and a green. The green here is called Pine Green. And they're beautiful iridescent tone to them. I love that. This is Ruby Red. beautiful. If you like decorate, this would be really pretty to decorate the center of your poinsettia, or you could use the larger ones. They'll fit the berries here beautifully. How easy peasy is that? You have some, I don't know what it is about candy cane. I don't like candy canes, but I love them on cards. I just think they're so playful, and I love them on Christmas trees too. This one here is a clay confetti mix. It's called Peppermints Mix. How cute is that? I just think that's adorable. So that's new. This one here is called the Holiday Cheer Mix. You get some snowflakes with some red and green clay bits. And then lastly, you get this real pretty winter snowflakes mix. And you get some blue and white snowflakes with some clay dots and clay, I would call them like bangles. They're longer confetti strips. But those are great for your brand new mitten shaker. How cute would that be in there? Okay, we are going to go ahead and put everything aside, and we're going to make a card. For my card today, we're going to be using the Pine Wreath stamp set. And I love this set. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the package. And then I'm also going to separate my dies here. And then I'll bring in my stamping positioner. We are going to go ahead and take our wreath. And also we're going to take our bow. We'll lower this just a little bit. And also we're going to stamp some pine cones. I'm going to first stamp my wreath. Now I'm going to stamp it with several different colors. So I have my inks here. I have 2 different shades of green. I have a light and a dark. I have New Sprout and Northern Pine for green, and these are Memento inks. And then I have Espresso Truffle. We're going to combine all 3 of these on our wreath. That's the best thing about this being a solid stamp. So first we're going to take our lighter green. This is New Sprout. And I'm going to go over. We can actually take these off for now. I'm going to take my bow and my pine cone off just to make it easier. Now I'm going to go over first with my lighter green ink. I'm going to stamp it once more. Isn't that so pretty? This would be just great for mass producing. I just love the elegance of this. Okay, now after we have our light green ink, I'm going to take my darker green, and this is Northern Pine, and I'm going to go over it in certain areas. You know, just kind of random. I might need to bring in a finger dauber to soften. I don't want no harsh lines, but you can kind of see where I'm stamping with it. I just want to go over a few areas. You can really see it now, huh? How pretty is that? Oh gosh, and that's just very simply done. How gorgeous is this? Now after we have this, I'm going to bring in a little brown. I'm going rustic. So this is Espresso Truffle, and I'm going to just add a little bit of my Espresso Truffle, just like we did the darker green. I want to add some brown leaves. Let's go ahead and add this. So 3 different colors. Look how gorgeous. I love the way this turned out. So just in a matter of minutes, you created a beautiful wreath. Okay, I think it'd be better just to bring in an acrylic block to stamp my bow, and also I'm going to multiple stamp my pine cones. Wonderful. Now to color in my pine cones is going to be very easy. And my bow, I'm going to zoom in. First I'm going to show you the colors I'm going to use. These are my reds. And then these are for my pine cone. And I am going to, it shouldn't take too long because they're all about the same. I'm going to color in, and then I'll play a little music while I color, and when I'm done I will be right back. Okay, coloring's all done. Pretty quick and easy. I'm going to go ahead and tape down my coordinating dies. What I love is the detail and the circle, the wreath. And to line it up, basically I just twist and turn until it lines up. Didn't take too long here. Okay, before we die cut, I did want to mention that I did take a darker brown. I used my E89 and just did a little extra highlighting here, so they're a little bit darker. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment that says joy. And I want to use my brown ink for my sentiment. So just bringing back my espresso truffle, I'm going to stamp this. And then I'm going to die cut this out as well, and then we can build a card. Okay, everything is die cut out, and it die cuts out beautifully. Love this. Now what we're gonna do is create our wreath. I'm gonna start by going to and I'm gonna start by tacking down my sentiment to my wreath. Put this right in the middle, tack it down, and then we're good to go. I put some foam squares behind my bow, but I'm not going to adhere this yet. But I am going to adhere my pine cones. Let's flip them around and pop these up and put them on our... Okay, I left the wreath open down here because that's where we're going to add our bow. Actually, let's go... Well, I'm not sure if I want it lowered or higher. So I'm going to wait on putting my bow down here. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to create a window. So I have a piece of white cardstock. I'm bringing in the Pretty Pink Posh Stitch Duo 3. I love this because it creates an archway and you have the window panes. Traditionally, I left the notches here and here because you can line them up. Let me show you. This way I can line them up and I know it's perfectly centered. But for this card, I'm going to actually bring it up. This way I can center the window panes on my archway. You see here? So I want the crisscross of the window panes to be a little bit higher. And you can see what I mean with the archway being right in the middle. Kind of looks more like a window. Let's go ahead and adhere this. I'm hoping the foam tape that I have on the O will hit that center. We'll see. If it doesn't, as long as it hits one of those window panes, we'll be fine. And I think that's going to work out great. Okay, we have our bow. I'll remove the release paper off of this, and we'll go ahead and add our bow. Wonderful. Now for our background, I'm going to bring in some pattern paper. I mentioned a rustic look, and that's why I added the brown to our pine tree. And I'm bringing in some wood pattern paper. This is from a very old, but it's still around, paper pad that has wood. I'm going to trim this down and put this just so a little bit of my card base is showing. I'm going to flip around my window with my wreath, put this on my card base. I love the way this looks, but we do need some bells and whistles. So that's where our beautiful ruby red pearls come in handy. I'm going to go ahead and open up my pearls. We'll pour some in my little dish. And I'm going to add some pearls all around my wreath, probably like in 3 and 2 berry cluster. And then I think I'm going to break out my sparkle pen. I haven't used that in a while. And add a little sparkle to our bow. And actually, let's add some sparkle to our pine cones too. And this is a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. But that finishes my card today for the Instagram hop. I hope you can join in the fun. Today again is day 2, celebrating the brand new winter release from Pretty Pink Posh. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Details for the Instagram hop are on my blog, and the blog link's down below if you want to just click on that. It'll take you over there and have more details. But thanks for joining me. Have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.